Hello, what's up, everybody? How are you doing today? Myself, I'm okay. Welcome back to my channel, and thank you for clicking. My name is Zamora Maina. I'm a registered dietitian, and I help people to positively shift their relationship with food and their bodies. Talk of relationship with food and your body. In our today's video, we're going to be looking at how to build that healthy relationship with food. So nowadays, actually, a lot of people are so obsessed about what and what not to eat. Yeah, this food is bad, that food is good, this food is healthy, the other one is unhealthy. Yeah, even while walking along the aisle of the supermarkets, you'll see people trying to check out for um, those natural, gluten-free, lactose-free, fat-free, like we had explained in our previous video. So, and sometimes this fixation of having to eat healthy can be overwhelming, and it's eventually even damaging to health. Yeah, both emotionally and also psychologically. And eventually, some of these foods that we're actually picking might not necessarily be healthy. So why not have a good understanding of how to have that relationship with food, to the point that you allow yourself permission to know what you to take in, and what not to, in a healthy, or rather in a more informed manner. So psychologically, your body needs food for fuel, nourishment, and ultimately for sustaining life itself. So as human beings, we were created to eat. Yeah, so this thing of avoiding a particular food group or self deprivation is not how we were created. Okay, but food is much more than biological necessity. It is the cultural linchpin that helps us bond and build connections. Yeah, we meet around coffee, over dinner, over lunch. Yeah, share experiences and even create memories when around food. Okay, so foods actually brings us as humans together. Then there's also the emotional component, from bringing comfort, stirring nostalgia, and channeling love to serving as a coping mechanism or outlet for celebration. Yeah, whenever we are holding celebrations, there's always food involved. And that's why you'd hear people, if there's no food, I'm not going. Yeah, you're invited to a wedding, and people wouldn't want to go to a wedding where there's no food. Yeah, and that's why we would hear most people saying, some people saying, 22 go for the sake of it, because there's food involved. So food plays a myriad of roles in our lives. So besides nourishment and food for fuel, there are all those components that are involved when it comes to food. So, and that's why, because it is part of our life, that's why it is important to always build that positive relationship with food, because it's here with us and it's not leaving. And the moment you have that poor relationship with food, you'd find yourself making mistakes. Yeah, and eventually it can be damaging. So for these reasons and more, paying attention to your connection with food is imperative. Okay, so your relationship with food is arguably one of the most important relationship in your life. At the same time, one of the most complicated relationship that we can ever have, and should actually be made a priority. So unlike any relationship, it requires constant tending. Yeah, you see, the way we nurture relationship, we are tending to it. Yeah, relationship with our families, our parents, our better halves. Yeah, so even that relationship with food requires tending and frequent check-ins. Yeah, it's not always appealing to do the work, because it can seem like it will be more tedious and take longer versus just doing strict diet to shed pounds quickly. But without establishing a healthy relationship with food, the results are often short-lived. So, and that's why you find that when someone is restricting a whole food group, for example, you're restricting carbohydrates, yeah, from your food, from your meals, you find that that one becomes short term, and the moment you start eating that carbohydrates, yeah, the impact is way huge. And like I've said, as humans, we were created to eat, yeah, and to eat all foods from carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Okay, so usually this restriction of food can actually is short-lived, because that's not how our bodies were created for. So what does a healthy relationship with food look like? At its core, yeah, at its core, a relationship with food involves relieving yourself of the pressure of trying to eat perfectly. Yeah, of course, there are so many different types of foods, and of course, some of them are healthy, some of them are not healthy. So we, as humans, we are trying to eat perfectly to the point that it becomes so stressful. Okay, so it makes having a good relationship with food, eating feel it makes eating feel effortless. Okay, so it looks like feeling connected to and honoring your needs around hunger, fullness, and pleasure. Okay, so like when you're connected to your hunger, you feel hungry, you're able to eat. When you're full, you stop eating. That's why we usually have the hunger fullness scale, which is usually ranked from 1 to 10. So when it's at 1, you're very hungry, yeah, you're famished, and very irritable, yeah, you feel lightheaded, yeah. So, and when it's at 10, that is on the higher side, you are uncomfortably full, yeah, you've eaten too much and now it's uncomfortable, and it's even painful. So why not, so when you are connected with your body, you're connected even in terms of how you put whatever it is that you put inside your body. When you have that connection, it's easy for you to detect hunger, yeah, so that you eat when you're not completely hungry, yeah, to the point that you feel irritable and famished, yeah, you're not starving. So when you're about to feel hunger, that's when you eat it. Because if you leave yourself to stay hungry for a long time, okay, when you leave yourself to stay hungry to the point that you're starving, chances of you, the moment you find food, chances of you overindulging or binging on that particular food is high, to the point that it can move that scale from 1 all the way to 10, yeah, because you're eating fast, and to actually satisfy what the body wants. But if you eat when you're not completely hungry, yeah, it's easy for you to be connected with that food, eat the correct portion, the correct amount of food, and once you feel like you're almost full, that is the time, yeah, comfortably full, that's the time to stop eating. Don't wait until you've overeaten to the point that now you feel pain and very uncomfortable. Yeah, so honoring that part of hunger, fullness, and also deriving pleasure from the food. Pleasure in the sense that you're able to feel the taste, the textures, yeah, the colors of the food, just being fully present to what you're eating. And also avoid distractions when you're eating. Stay away from TV, stay away from your phones, yeah, while you're eating. So when you have that connection with food, it becomes even easier for you to build that healthy relationship with food, and prevents you from over indulging. So when you eat when you're physically hungry, and able to stop when you're comfortably full, can actually go a long way, whichever goal you have, be it for weight loss, for fitness, for sports, yeah, and performance. Then it's easy for you to get that. In addition, it means that you're able to be flexible, yeah, and don't feel guilt or shame around your food choices. Okay, so it doesn't mean like you've gone to, especially when you've gone to a party and there is some dessert that is being served. If you're positively connected to what you eat, it becomes easy for you to take just a slice of it, yeah, and which is just enough and not overdoing it. But once you've restricted yourself and you get a chance to eat that particular food, you find yourself overindulging in that particular food. So this means not placing any particular food group off limits. Yeah. So like you're not restricting carbohydrates, you're not completely restricting junk foods to the point that, yeah, you're in a place, junk food is the only thing that is being served, yeah, and you're hungry, yeah. So because you've restricted yourself, you find yourself maybe not wanting to eat that particular food, yeah. Remember, you're hungry, and that can be emotionally draining. So if you give yourself a permission to eat the food, it becomes easy for you to eat it without shame, without guilt, and then afterwards be able to eat more healthier foods as when you get home, or when you get home, or when you have a chance to eat a healthier meal, yeah. So with that said, for example, uh, so when you come across this unhealthy food, yeah, or rather the ones that you feel is not necessarily healthy, you'll still be able to enjoy a reasonable portion of it without feeling bad about it. Okay, so you see, the way our bodies are structured, or the way biologically, the way our bodies are was created, yeah. So once you teach your body that this thing is bad, yeah, the body, it makes you even want to eat that particular food even more. For example, you've told yourself that you don't want to eat any dessert, okay, because of whatever reasons that you have, yeah. So that's what the body will always crave for. Why not allow yourself to give yourself permission to eat that, to the point that when you get a chance to eat it, you're able to eat reasonable portion without feeling bad about it, instead of overindulging or suppressing that want out of guilt. So in a nutshell, someone with a healthy relationship with food feels in control around food, versus feeling food has control over them. So consequently, this allows you to spend all of that energy on doing things that really matter, to help you connect with yourself, um, with your most authentic self. So it makes you feel, or rather be present, yeah. So when you have a healthy relationship with food, it becomes a powerful tool to fill your cup. So on the flip side, a damaged relationship with food can steal of your time, energy, and attention, robbing you of being fully present in your life. And that's why you find that those people on diet usually feel so stressed, yeah, around food, and because you've not given yourself that permission to eat. And so with that said, that is how, or rather that is what it means by having a positive relationship with food. And so it's more of, stop labeling food as good or bad, yeah. Stop these restrictions, yeah, restricting yourself from eating the things that you enjoy. Why not allow those foods to be around you, to the point that you have control over them, yeah. So that, to the point that you have control over them, yeah. So that is the only way to move around, or rather to be positively connected, um with your food. So that, if it's that weight loss, it becomes easy for you to achieve it. If it's for fitness, if it's for sports and performance, it becomes easy for you to get there, yeah. But once you punish yourself, you're not giving yourself permission to eat whatever the body wants to eat, then that's where the problem checks in. So this intuitive eating is what can actually help us meet some of our health goals, and making it easy for all of us. Okay, so with that said, I hope this was helpful, and it's going to help you to be able to make better decision uh, around food, build that positive relationship with food. Not about self-deprivation, self-restricting. That's not what nutrition is all about. Yeah, some of you are using nutrition. People are actually misusing the word nutrition, and sometimes when I look at it, and even when I'm dealing with my clients, yeah, it becomes quite overwhelming, the kind of information that people have around nutrition. Sometimes it can be misleading, and nutrition is not a punishment. Yeah, it is not self-restriction. Like I've said, it is not about self-deprivation. Yeah, so once you do that, it leads to cravings, more and more cravings, more and more binging, and which can eventually lead to problems. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in our next video. Bye.